Greeting, dear colleagues. I offer you a report on the topic, a psychologist's view of the human path from chaos through order to indeterminacy. Prepared by Moskvitina Olga, the senior researcher of Federal State Budgetary Scientific Institution, Psychological Institute of Russian Academy of Education. Human path from chaos through order indeterminacy cannot be described in linear terms, such as going from point A via point B to point C. Anyone who has experienced chaos in his life can say, I'm moving from chaos to order through indeterminacy. Yes, of course, our experience suggests exactly this. From chaos, it means some process, I get into indeterminacy. The time stops for me, but I need to do something, and I strive to organize my world again. What kind of indeterminacy does a person face in their daily life? We are talking about the experience of people in whose lives chaos, order, and indeterminacy have always been present. These are manifestation of the natural element and the beauty of the nature. This is limited manageability of social phenomena and unity. This is intrapersonal discord and harmony. This is the arbitrariness of man, from decision-making to the creation and use of the technologies. Since ancient times, man has sought to overcome chaos and order the world around him and the noble soul. This was facilitated by the emergence and development of culture. Humanity mastered speech, created signs and symbols, and generated meanings that became a means of cognition and control. Meaningful overcoming allowed us to contain and process chaos and indeterminacy, and with the help of creativity to create order and harmony. A person manifested himself as an active person, that is, one who is able to transform himself and his surroundings. Lev Vygotsky, the founder of cultural and historical psychology, wrote that along the way of this ordering, man mastered psychological tools. These are artificial devices aimed at mastering his own natural mental functions and turn them into higher mental functions, complex mental process, logical memory, purposeful thinking, creative thinking, voluntary actions, speech. However, let's take a closer look at the indeterminacy. Depending on the characteristics of the situation of indeterminacy and personal characteristic of a person, he reacts to it in different ways: as a problem, as a situation with unknown, the unknown, as a situation of frustration, as an accident, unpredictability. Indeterminacy is associated with the loss of identity, with the fear of nothing, and with experiences in extreme existential situations, with a condition for creativity. In psychology, indeterminacy in the theory of decision-making is a condition for making of decision. The uncertainty of the situation is directly related to such parameters of the situation assessment as the possibility of forecasting. The degree of predictability of an event decreases if the indeterminacy of the situation increases. Indeterminacy affects the ways and results of a decision, the difficulty of identifying options and choosing and its criteria, and the complexity of implementation. Indeterminacy is one of the most important components of the dynamics of development of any active process of human activity. Positive in indeterminacy is its ability to be a stimulus for development, to be a meta-motivator for the individual. If the uncertainty is recognized by the person, it is experienced as pleasant, with its low, significant, and high intensity. There is a positive relationship between tolerance for indeterminacy and cognitive complexity, of the individual, high productivity of ideas, broad-mindedness, creativity, risk-taking, and the ability to perform stressful tasks. In a situation of indeterminacy, according to Vadim Petrovsky, superpositive activity occurs when a supertask is set, which is solved with the help of several tasks at once. Negative in indeterminacy is the occurrence of fear, anxiety, and emotional discomfort, a sense of loss of control. If the indeterminacy is recognized by the person, it is experienced as unpleasant, with its high significance and low intensity. Indeterminacy often leads to confusion when once determine the meaning of the information that characterized it. In a person's response to indeterminacy, there are three components: emotional volitional component suggesting feelings and attainment determination; cognitive suggesting the desire for analysis and control; behavioral suggesting strategies, methods, and actions. There are two main ways to overcome indeterminacy. Internal, these are the individual protective mechanism, according to Freud, and external strategies for social interaction such as performing rituals and social practices. A person's perception of indeterminacy and experience of this state varies from absolute adaptation to it to rejection. Ensiferova and Korotkova identified four types of personal behavior in a situation of indeterminacy. The first, the personality of the first type, type A, which focuses on achievements, changing the world, taking chances, and testing out their own capabilities. Such a person seeks to expand the existing knowledge about situations of uncertainty to translate it into situations of risk. She feels the ability to change the situation. The second, personality of the second type, type B, focused mainly on internal change in their own I and party, their behavior patterns. The third, the third type of personality, type C, which is characterized by submission to fate. The cognitive activity side of such a person is very poorly expressed. The fourth, the fourth type of personality, type D, is characterized of feeling of anxiety, apathy, and frustration. The attitude of a person to uncertainty is determined by a system of ethnocultural, social, individual psychological, gender and age factors, as well as the specifics of the situation of indeterminacy itself. All this determines the specifics of a person's activity and the choice of strategies and tactics to overcome indeterminacy. Let's return to the idea of a path from chaos through order to indeterminacy. We will do this with a small caveat. We will add another indeterminacy, the one that was described earlier, the natural indeterminacy of human life. So what it look like? Chaos, uncertainty, order, indeterminacy. The question arises, are the first indeterminacy and the second uncertainty the same indeterminacy? To answer this question, let us turn to the definition of this new indeterminacy. With the advent of virtuality and digital technologies, the concept of indeterminacy is filled with a different content. This is due to nature of these phenomena and their impact on people and society. Man is caught between the Scylla and the Charybdis of modernity, global, invisible governance and entanglement in the lifestyle of a consumer society. The first causes fear due to lack of control, the second deprives a person of the opportunity to show the active nature and create. Together, they deprive a person of subjectivity. The order generated by standardization and digitalization is a dubious attempt to make the world manageable. In this ordered, soulless world, a person feels more and more uncertain, lost and depressed. Total digital order is perceived as total digital chaos. From the point of view of psychology, we cannot put an equal sign between indeterminacy that we knew and were able to deal with it, which was not only harmful but most often useful, and the digital indeterminacy that is unknown to us and often incomprehensible and often harmful but not useful. Indeterminacy in the world of numbers is, in our opinion, not existence for the individual. Many people perceive total digital order as total digital chaos. Thank you for your attention.